How are you doing today? Good, right? Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you. My name is Ben Lau, the Executive Director of the Chinese American Museum of Chicago. On behalf of our museum and our foundation, our board of directors, Chinatown Museum Foundation, and then all the board of directors and the associate board directors, as well as all the advisors, I welcome you all to today's very exciting event. And today, you all know that you received our invitation that we are going to have our new exhibitions opened on the second floor. It's called the Chinese American Veterans, Unsung Heroes. And now, this event is our reception as well as a brief presentation. Now we are going to present the colors. Please rise.
Right, left, go left, right, left.
Oh. Hey, Jack, present the flag. John. Step up. Ready? Present her. Whatever. Her. About face. Let's go. Let's go.
That's good.
Thank you, American Legion Chinatown Post 1003. Now we have the line dance. The line dance is going to be performed by Chicago Dragons Athletic Associations and Chinatown Special Events. Please. Thank you, Jimmy, and your wonderful line dance team. Please be seated. Now I would like to invite our board president, Edward Joe, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Glad you all are able to make it today. It's a very important day for us at the museum, as well as for the community. And we thank the American Legion Post 1003 for the color guards and the Dragons for the lion dance. It's a very good start for a new exhibit. Actually, for us, it is an expanded exhibit, but I really call it a rededication of the exhibit to honor all the veterans and the families of the veterans who have served for the United States. So this is a very important date for me personally. I've learned a lot since I've been working on this exhibit about the challenges, the sacrifices, the honor, the dignity, and the families of all the people who have served. The Chinese have served since the Civil War and endured much discrimination, racial hatred, all kinds of stereotyping and misunderstanding. But all these soldiers, women and men, have served with humility and honor. So I'm very proud to be involved with this exhibition, because I've learned a lot about our own people in this country, initially as Chinese immigrants, because they were not allowed to be citizens, especially in the Civil War. So now that they're citizens, especially after the World War II, I'm very proud to learn about the exploits and the adventures and the support and dedication of the men and women of the armed forces. So without further ado, I welcome you again to look at our exhibit on the second floor. There are a lot of photos and other things to talk about the story behind the stories of the women and men of the armed forces, of the Chinese American community. They are our American heroes. Our title suggests it's unsung heroes, but I see them as Americans. So, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Ed. Now I would like to invite our immediate past president and exhibition chair, Sulan Wei, to say a few words.
Hi everyone, welcome to our museum. And how many of you have been here before? Raise your hand. Oh yay, thank you so much. We are so grateful that many donors and lenders who lend us or donated materials for us to use in our exhibition, especially uniforms, medals, and many different documents documenting their time that they served in the war of the various theaters all over throughout our history. So we have had a wonderful time putting together the exhibition for you to look at today, and so I would like to recognize a few of the people on our team. Is Riley here? Sure. Riley, okay, thank you. She's our new curator for the Conservation Collections Department. Andrea Stem, she's our chair of collections right there by the Judy, oh, there she is. Okay, thank you. And our own Chicago historian, Susan Lee Moy, who's been helping us. Did I leave out anybody? On at Jung, of course. And then can't miss them because we were working until 10 o'clock last night.
Oh my God.
And then also I just want to acknowledge a few of our, and my husband Ram. Right. And so Ben can introduce the board of directors for you. Okay, welcome and thank you for having us.
Thank you, Sulan. I would like to acknowledge our board of directors. I believe some of them are here. Already our board president, Joe, and our vice president of the board is Mabel Menard. Can you raise your hand at the back? And Mark Cheng, sitting on the couch. Raise your hand. And Sui at the back, near the exit. Don't go, okay? Stay here. And of course, Andrea is also sitting on our board. And John Rosenau, the tall guy. How can I miss him? Rich for Shane, he's over there. Waving.
Yay!
Designated emperor. Okay, did I miss anyone? Because, oh, no, I don't think so. So, now it's our honor to invite our state representative, Teresa Ma, to say a few words. And she is also one of our advisors.
Thank you, Ben. I'm State Representative Teresa Ma. I've been involved in supporting the museum for many years, and I'm always really impressed with the programming and exhibitions that they have presented, and today it's no different. I'm really pleased and honored to be here for the rededication of this exhibition honoring Chinese American veterans. A couple weeks ago, when we had the ceremony to present the Congressional Gold Medal to families and veterans who served during World War II, it was a really moving experience, and really fitting to have the opportunity to honor those who served and dedicated themselves to preserving democracy and helping us get to where we are today. You know, my god-grandfather was, I believe, in the Navy, and you know, he served as a cook. And all I know about that experience was that, you know, he was a cook and that they had been in Alaska. But it did make an impression on me, because I think that those who served really set an example for us in going into public service, essentially, you know, at a time when, you know, the vast majority of Asian Americans were not permitted to become citizens, and so serving in the military was something that could be done as a way to give back and serve our country, and to set this example for us today to you know, serve, to be in public service and you know, be an elected official. And so, you know, I really want to congratulate the museum for putting together this exhibition. I want to welcome all of you. Thank you all for coming. And for those of you who are veterans or family members of veterans, thank you so much for your service. Have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Ma. And now I would like to invite our 25th Ward Alderman, Central Lopez, to come out to say a few words.
Thank you again, and thank you to the board members of the Chicago, to the Chinese American Museum of Chicago, to all the board members, to the families, all the unsung heroes, and to all the veterans. This is Veterans Month, and what a fit opportunity for us to celebrate and dedicate this exhibit to those who have sacrificed so much for us. It is also fitting, I think, and important to recognize also that many of the veterans, especially Chinese American veterans, have been subject to discrimination and marginalization for way too long. This exhibit does a little bit of justice to the service that they provided to our communities, and also that this service has not gone in vain. That's what I also would like to recognize with actions or commitment to ensure that the Chinese American community continues to thrive here in Chicago. I'm really glad to see, for instance, that the caucuses in City Council both recognize the significance of the Chinese community, and I think that we are in good route to perhaps have the first Asian majority ward in the city of Chicago. I think that this is a recognition of the significant contributions that the Chinese American community have for our country, for our community, and also our veterans, who oftentimes continue to struggle to access mental health, to access housing and other benefits. We're here today to celebrate and with our actions honor the service of so many, especially in our community. So thank you again for inviting us. Look forward to making sure that we continue to honor their work with our actions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alderman. Now, I would like to invite Ivy Lam, the Chinese the president of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance, CACA, the Chicago chapter, to say a few words and to present the congressional gold medals to the president. No, not yet. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to congratulate to museum, have a great exhibit today. And on behalf of CAC, we call Chinese American Citizen Alliances, I'm so proud of the project that we put together. And we just had our ceremony a week ago, and we feel so grateful to see all the World War II veterans family and can accept the overdue honor. And I'd like to say thank you to Solon here, because on that day, museum, they sent a big crew to us to help to work together. So you will see that's 2 corn, and that is the, we call CGM, Chinese American Congressional Gold Medal. So we have, the whole project, we have 11 national ceremony, and Chicago is the 4th one. So we still have 7, we call regional ceremony. So they will contact the neighbor state to accept the gold medal. So thank you so much, and I'm so glad to come here today to join the event, and good luck to the exhibit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivy. Now I would like to invite Patricia to do a presentation. Patricia?
I wondered if I could move this just a tad so I could see this.
You can see the screen here.
Oh, there, okay.
You can change
There's
it.
the clicker. There
You
you go, thank
can
you.
point it and-
Okay. Hi, I'm Pat Patricia Lofthouse, and I was the treasurer and yearbook editor. I was the newsletter editor for the 103rd Infantry Division of World War II Association. And they're based in Gainesville, Texas, where Camp House was, and that's where many soldiers trained of the 103rd Infantry for World War II. And my late father was there. So it was a blessing to find that book and to learn about what my dad experienced. So our archives are located down now at the University of Southern Mississippi at Hattiesburg and at the McCain Library. And you're very welcome to get on the website and see all the wonderful things that we've been able to collect, including memoirs. So I'm going to talk about the memoirs a little bit. I first became aware of the story of Liu Yi Jun, who was a private first class, through an article that one of our members wrote in 2014. Dave Gilbert wrote Overlooked Valor. And he wrote his article based on a memoir of one of our members, an oral interview that was taken in 2009 at one of the 103rd reunions. And in the article, he wrote about how Private June sacrificed his life by throwing himself on a grenade to save his squad. And no one knew about this. Even the men in his squad didn't know his name because he was a replacement soldier. So he hadn't really gotten to know anyone. And he just did it. He just did it, you know, didn't even think about his own life or anything. And so Frank Romano, I then researched his memoir in our archives, and I found that he described what happened. So a grenade was launched after one of the members yelled out in a little bit of German, because he was German-American, and it was launched right towards their foxhole. And Private Lou threw himself on the grenade and the rest of the squadron was saved, including Frank Romano. So here are some photos and of the people who were saved. And I found his granddaughter, Beth Romano, and she was kind enough to provide them. So let me see what this is. Anyway, I wrote to the Morris Daily Herald newspaper. Is that what's showing up on the screen? I should have worn my glasses here. I'm sorry. Okay. That's Frank Romano's memoir. Thank you. This event was also documented by the rather famous author, Tony Hillerman, who wrote Seldom Disappointed. He's now deceased, but he was in the next foxhole. But he did not see Private Lou perform his act of valor because his foxhole was a little to the right and a little farther up. But anyway, he talked about the grenade launching next to the railroad tracks. So, anyway, let's see. That's his, if you get his book, that's the actual page from his book where he wrote about the event. Sure. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, so, I wrote to the Morris Daily Herald in Grundy County because that's where the family lived at that time, in Morris, Illinois, Lou's family. And I didn't receive a response. So I was hoping to find some family members because I learned from research that the only way to obtain a Congressional Medal of Honor for a soldier is to have a living descendant accept the medal. You can't nominate someone for it posthumously without having a relative who can actually accept the medal. So nothing happened from that article except this wonderful librarian of the Grundy County Historical Society dug by hand through all the newspapers, not online, by hand, until she found an article that mentioned Private Lou Yi Jun and showed his picture. We did not even know what he looked like, and now we did. So from that point, Dave Gilbert researched it more, and he found the actual pillbox area near Sessenheim, France, where Private Lou died, and he created a map of the foxholes so that, I know it's a little turned around, but you can see where the foxholes were located by the railroad tracks. And then I started researching the government records, and there's so much online now that I found his draft card and his, the notice of missing of the death and his U.S. arrest or warhead. He was originally interned. Now this is a heartwarming story. The German army, when they left, took the dead, the American dead, and they buried them right where they fell. And they covered the grave with a cross and a helmet. And so in 1946, the Americans went back to try to find the missing, and they found that location. They found Private Lou's grave, and they interned him in the Lorraine American National Cemetery in St. Aloy, France. Then his family, Charlie, well, that's the story. We don't really know what name they went by that time. They moved to Chicago, and it appears that they went by their Americanized names, Charlie Pond, Bob Pond, John Pons, Billy Pons. And so they had the body brought home, and then they had him interred in the Rock Island National Cemetery, which is in Rock Island, Illinois. And I happened to find a newspaper article in Iowa, believe it or not, that described the burial. He was buried with some other soldiers in a military honor funeral. That made me feel so good because at least he had some honors given to him. He never received the Bronze Star, the Silver Star, the Congressional Medal of Honor. So, found his family's immigration papers for the names and all that, and all this. So all of these gave us clues. So, just in September, the librarian Debbie Steffes kept digging, and she found a yearbook from Morris High School, and in it is a picture of his brother John, not of Private Lou, but at least his brother John, and there are names of the people who were his brother's classmates. So that's our next job, to try to locate some of these classmates, and they might know what happened to the family after they moved to Chicago. So, as you know, Tammy Duckworth was instrumental in having Public Law 115, 337 instituted on December 18, 2018, which granted a congressional gold medal to all the Chinese American soldiers of World War II. So that's instrumental. And that big ceremony that they showed online, I was privileged to watch it last December of 2020. So these are the people who contributed to all this research: Dave Gilbert, Beth Romano, Frank's daughter, the granddaughter, Zach Sigler, who's our 103rd archivist, and Ed Gore, of course. I reached out to him when I found out about his group, and he was the one who encouraged us to, if we could, purchase the gold medal to donate to the museum, and we also purchased another one to donate to the 103rd Archives at the University of Southern Mississippi. And that's, you know the rest. That's what it looks like. You have the big blow-ups here, and that was the invitation to the ceremony. So I would like to thank you for having me. If anyone, we're hoping by this publicity that we might be able to find a family relative. It could be, a great nephew. It doesn't matter as long as they're a direct descendant. And so that's a picture of his grave, and that's where the Battle Wall of Death is in Gainesville, Texas, and his name is on it. So thank you. I hope that maybe you can provide some help, and maybe we'll be able to get this brave young man the recognition that he deserves. So, thank you.
Thank you, Pat, for the wonderful presentation. Now I would like to invite Phil Chen, the commander of American Legion Chinatown Post 103, to come out and say a few words.
Checking with the program director, how long I get to speak. So, want to welcome all of you to Chinatown Museum and this new section. Chicago is about one of the fourth, just guessing, about the fourth largest Chinese community here in the United States. And everybody came from California and came from New York. But when jobs went out from the railroads, they all come to Chicago. And Chicago has produced a lot of Chinese veterans. And they were a small group. And Gerald Lee started the Chinatown American Legion Post here back in, I think, March of 46. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. Gerald was a navigator who was shot down in Italy, prisoner of war. And I've met him, his wife, son. And he's done a lot for the Chinatown American Legion Post. And Sulan and her committee, I guess they finally recognized that the veterans here in Chicago need a little recognition in this nice museum that we have. And I'm happy to see all of you come today and support the veterans who gave up part of their life to serve their country. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Now is the time for refreshment, as well as a short clip of a video. The name of the video is "We Served with Pride." So please enjoy it.
Sorry. I think we, on the second floor, because of COVID and the spacing is rather small, so we would like to divide this big group, wonderful group, into half. So half of you may go down and look at the exhibition. After that, then you could come back up and look at the video and also have some snack. While the second group can stay here and view the video and have some snack, then we could switch. to make that safer for everyone. Is that agreeable? Sorry. So, I think, I want to say that, there are a couple of veterans here. Is Frank here? Oh, Frank Wong? Oh, he's in the back, okay. He's here with his grandson, Jeffrey Tan, who served in, who just graduated from our discharge honorably from Great Lakes Naval Station. And then there's Frank's father, Jin Heng Wong, he served in World War II. So that's like 3 generations right there. We have many stories like that amongst this group, and so we're hoping to find more veterans too. So if you are a veteran, oh, okay, yeah. Right, and then also there's Thomas O'Connell. Tom, where are you? Oh, back here, sorry. He's been a volunteer at our museum for many years. So about 10 years ago, he started the Veterans, Chinese American Veterans Project, Portrait Project. And he did that 3 times, and as a result, we have many beautiful portraits downstairs on the 2nd floor to add to our exhibition. So if you see the portraits, most of them are from Tom. Thank you. And then on another note, my dear cousin, Albert Moy, right? Another Moy, not really a cousin, but you know how that goes. He and a colleague, Helen Ng, did a high school project on Chinese American veterans, and they had received a grant couple years ago, and they did such a tremendous amount of research and put that together, and he gifted the project to us, and that actually helped us in building our collections and also our exhibition. And then his father served in World War II, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So maybe, oops, who would like to go first downstairs? Nobody? Everybody wants to stay up here? Okay. Okay, wait. Ben, our executive director, he says it might be better if we just stay here and then kind of see that, It's very short. It's really a great film.